Hey, what's happening? Chris Martinez here. I am the host of Operation Agency Freedom. And today I'm going to be talking about the winning traits of our top marketing agency owners, a little thing that we call pedigree. It's actually pedigree because we have some extra E's because we're like super creative like that. But basically, I wanted to talk about this specifically because I've always wondered, what does it take to get to the top? And we've done a really good job of doing some studies and research on the characteristics, the common characteristics, I should say, of our top performing agency owners. You probably heard me say this before, that the agency is a reflection of you. So whatever's going on with you, it's going to be reflected in the business. And so therefore, if you want your agency to get to that next level, guess who has to get to the next level first? It's you. It's the agency owner. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking all about pedigree and what that means and what each letter means because it's an anagram. I'm going to be talking about what every single letter means. And so you can basically take some notes and be like, hey, do I have the pedigree to get to the next level? So with that being said, let's head over to the episode. All right, I'm super excited about this. Spent a lot of time trying to come up with pedigree, and I'm very proud of it. I wouldn't say I'm the most creative person in the world, but this is pretty darn cool in my opinion. So let's get started. We're going to be talking about, of course, the things that all of our top agency owners have in common. That spells out pedigree. So I'm going to go letter by letter. Feel free to take notes because I think this is pretty cool. So the first one is the P. And basically, it means physical fitness and mental health are imperative. So basically, what we've learned is that all of our top performing marketing agency owners, they put a big importance on their physical and mental well-being. They recognize that how they feel both in their body as well as in their headspace has a direct impact on how they lead and how they manage the business. So does that mean that they're all like bodybuilders or like fitness, models? Of course not. But the point being is that their attitude, right? They have an attitude of taking care of your body. I'm a huge advocate, right, of this because if you've ever been sick or even if you have like a headache that day, you know that your physical being, like what goes on inside your body, has a direct impact on your ability to run your business. On the flip side, with your mental health, if you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you are stressed out, whatever is going on, if your mental health is not in a great place, well, then that absolutely has an impact also on how you run the business. So our top performing marketing agency owners, they all put an emphasis and an importance on their physical health and their mental health. Second one is E. It stands for execute tasks and discipline. So our top performing marketing agency owners, they all have good discipline. Are they like insanely disciplined? No, but they all have good discipline to begin with. It's really, really hard to be successful in business without some level of discipline. Because of their discipline, they are able to execute stuff. Our top performing marketing agency owners, if you give them a task or you give them a goal, they nail that goal. That's the thing. It's like, it's just part of who they are. And so like I can tell you examples over examples of like, we give this person a sales target. Guess what? They go out and they nail it. Not only do they nail it, but they exceed it. We say, hey, you got to get your expenses under control. I'm going to give you this much money to spend on your production labor. They go out and they nail it. A lot of the times they exceed it, right? They come in way under budget. So this is just one of the aspects of their personalities. They're super disciplined and they love getting stuff done or getting shit done. So that's number two, is they execute tasks and they are disciplined. The third one is they have accountability in their leadership. So they personally take responsibility for anything that goes on in the business. They are not blamers. They are not pointing the finger at other people. So if something bad goes on in the business, guess what? They're taking responsibility for it. If the economy goes bad, guess what? Doesn't matter. I still have to find a way to be successful. I lose people, guess what? I'm blaming myself and looking at myself and wondering, hey, what could I have done differently that could have prevented this person from leaving? And what am I going to change about myself so that this doesn't happen again? It's huge. Like you do see this pretty frequently in business, especially with smaller business owners. Well, they'll come up with every excuse in the world for why they aren't being successful. But our top marketing agency owners that we work with, they all take accountability for everything that goes on in the business. All right, so we're on to number 4. So number 4 is fostering intrapreneurship. So you've probably heard of entrepreneurship, obviously, but there's a concept called intrapreneurship. And basically, what this means is that you need to hire people in your organization who are going to basically run their department as if it's their own company. We need these people. We need these people on our leadership team. So you need to be able to attract these type of people, promote them, empower them, and then basically give them the keys to run their department as if it's their own company. Of course, reward them for doing that. Our top performing marketing agency owners that we work with, they recognize the importance of having these intrapreneurs inside of their company. And so they nurture these folks and take really, really good care of them because, of course, they recognize that for them to grow the business and reach all of their financial goals and their business goals and their life goals, they're going to need these intrapreneurs. All right. So I'm on the 5th one. It is they have a great credit score and they are financially responsible. This is something that's very, very interesting with all of our top performing marketing agency owners. They all have excellent personal credit. I'm talking like 800s, 850s. What's interesting is that when I was kind of like hypothesizing about this, I would text all of them like, hey, just out of curiosity, and you don't have to answer this, but what's your credit? And they like without like 30 seconds passing by, they send me a screenshot. It's like 800, 850, like really, really good personal credit scores. And what's interesting about that is that I believe that that helps them to make really solid business decisions with their own company finances when they have that level of personal financial responsibility. It's totally, totally weird. Like I wasn't anticipating this, but it does make a lot of sense, right? And so this is something that we see with all of our top performing agency owners, like literally all of them, all of our top performing agency owners is they all have great credit, personal credit, and they are all very financially responsible. So something to think about. The next one is relationships. So relationships are essential to their success. And I'm not talking about relationships inside the business. I'm talking about relationships outside of the business. They also are prioritizing their relationship with their spouse and their kids, and they recognize that the business is very important to them. It fuels them. For me, at least, my business is a form of creative expression for me. It's just part of who I am. I need that. But we also recognize, and our top performing agency owners recognize, like we need to take care of these people because at the end of the day, these relationships that I have with my family and my friends, they're what's really fulfills me. And it's, there's no point in being a rich person that has no friends, that has nobody there for them. So that's the next one is relationships are essential to success. The next E, and we got 3 E's, is EBITDA, and their numbers are crucial. So these agency owners are committed to running the business by the numbers. It's not just about doing creative, fun stuff, which is, one of the reasons why most of us get into marketing. They recognize that it's all about the numbers. I have to learn how to run the business by the numbers. And they recognize that every decision that they make as owners needs to be based on facts and not feelings, that we are making decisions that are based on data, that we're looking at KPIs. They know that their EBITDA is really, really important, right? They make strategic choices based on data. So that was like super, super important. You have to be able to run the business by the numbers. The next E is that they are emotionally in control at all times. So what we've recognized is that our top performing agency owners, they put a big commitment on being in control of their emotions. Running a marketing agency is incredibly difficult, right? You have all the people that you're managing or that you're hiring, you have all the clients, you have technology stuff that's changing all the time. So there's a lot of highs and lows if you allow your emotions to dictate your state of mind. And so what our top performing marketing agency owners have recognized is that they want to be even the whole time. Never too high, never too low. No matter what happens, I'm good, right? So they manage their emotions very, very well. And it helps them to have clarity and decisiveness when they're making decisions, even when there are a ton of crazy challenges going on. And the last E is that they want to have an exit. They want to exit the business one day. Now, it might not be today. Most likely it's not today. It's probably not tomorrow. It might not be a year, 1 year or 2 years, might not even be in 10 years. But the point is that they do want to build a business that they can exit one day. It's really, really important that you recognize that there is this end goal, right? I say this like because I've played soccer, and there's a saying in soccer, like one day you wake up and you just don't want to wear shorts to work anymore. Like all the professionals say that. One day you wake up and you just don't want to wear shorts to work anymore. And it's the same with running an agency. One day you will wake up and you won't want to do this anymore. And the worst time to sell a business is when you have to sell the business. So, what these folks have recognized is that even though I don't want to sell today, I will want to sell it eventually. So, let's start building this business so that when that day comes, it's going to be smooth. I'm going to get an amazing valuation where I can do this big exit. And then I can either move on to the next thing or maybe just, sit around and do nothing. Who knows? But the point being is that they have this goal in mind. They want to build this business so that one day they can actually do that big exit. And so when they have that goal in mind, then they're going to start thinking differently. They're going to start making decisions based on the long-term outcome that they're searching for. They're going to be making their decisions based on numbers and like just a number of other factors, because they recognize that they are trying to build this business as an asset that one day they can do the exit and the business will be there and they'll be moved on to the new ownership team. And of course, they're going to have millions and millions of dollars to walk away from. So those are the nine, I believe it's nine pedigree of, or 9 elements of pedigree. So I'll just review them one more time. Physical fitness and mental health are paramount. They execute tasks and they have discipline. They get stuff done. They don't blame other people and they take accountability. They have intrapreneurs to help them scale. They have great credit scores and they're financially responsible. Their relationships are essential to their success, and those are relationships outside of the business. EBITDA and their numbers are crucial. They run the business by the numbers. They are emotionally in control at all times. And the last one is they want to have an exit. They want to exit the business one day. So hopefully you took notes. Just jot down, where you stack up. And hey, if you recognize that you're not as far along in one of those areas as you'd like to be, that's totally okay. And just so you know, our agency owners aren't perfect in all of these, but they prioritize and they make sure that they're good in all of these things. So if you have any questions about this, or you want to see how you stack up or how I would grade you, just feel free to reach out. More than happy to have a conversation and I'll let you know what I think. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Hope to see you on the next episode. Bye. Hey, thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to the podcast and also share it with friends, family, and basically anyone you know who will find the same value in this episode as you do. So, to get the latest from me, then let's connect on social media on the Facebooks at facebook.com/Dude Agency or Instagram at dudeagency.io. Then you can also find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and even TikTok. Yes, I'm that cool. We are on TikTok. Finally, go to our website at dudeagency.io, where you can see all of our other episodes of Operation Agency Freedom, register for live trainings on how to run a highly profitable agency, and you can see exactly how we help marketing agencies fix their operations and scale to 8 figures and beyond. Thanks again for listening, and I will see you next time.